Like, do you ever feel like every time you hang around a crowd or a group of friends, you always the outsider? I just hate that shit. I just rather move alone. Like, that junk is aggravating. They always got to show favor.
And the reason why people do not fuck with you is because they can't fuck with you. Clock it. They see that you have something different inside of you, so they subconsciously remove themselves from you because they know that standing next to you, they can't fuck with you. Clock it. Like, don't never let nobody dim your light, period. Because the light inside of you is shining so radiantly that they can't even be next to you. Like, let that sink in. Let that sink in, bro. You was never meant to fit in with these people. Never. Come on now. Like Big Shark with a little tank. They box themselves in so much, boo boo. You don't even want to be in there with them.
You were never meant to fit in because you were born to do something different from the masses. You were born to be different. Born to go against the grain. Born to be set apart. You were born for it. That's why you were never meant to fit in.
You're not blocked. Your environment just can't hold you to frequency. When your energy upgrades, people fall away, routines feel weird, and silence gets louder. And that's not stagnation. That is ascension. And don't shrink to fit the old vibration. I hope this helped.
Rych Babes, you ever walked into a room and feel like everyone's vibing except you? You try to fit in, you try to relate, but deep down it always feels off. Truth is, there's a psychology behind why some of us never fit in, and it's deeper than you think. So let's get right into it. Hey Rych Babes, it's Robin Milan, and welcome back to the channel where we do it the rich way, girl. We think rich, get rich, and stay rich. Now, how many of you have ever felt like you just don't fit in from childhood all the way up until now? So let's get right into this. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back shortly.
Am I the only person that just be feeling like no matter where I'm at in life or where I'm in, like I didn't fit in nowhere. Like in high school I didn't fit in real life I don't be fitting in, especially like, and I know nobody is looking to fit in at work and stuff, but everybody likes some sort of communication, some type of bonding, whatever the case may be. Moving past it, let me tell you the reason that I thought about this, because this is a random story that I thought about. Because literally, okay, so first of all, I was working at the job for like 6 months or whatever, and all of my coworkers, they wasn't like friends, but they was all cool, right? They was all cool. So one time I had came to work, and I was the only person that came to work. Legit, I was the only person that came to work. And I'm like questioning like why I was at work by myself. I didn't find out almost until the end of the night that everybody had got together and went to New Orleans for the weekend. Everybody had got together, got on a car, went to New Orleans together, left me. Nobody said nothing to me. Nobody even was like, hey girl, we gonna go to New Orleans for the weekend. You gonna be like, nobody said nothing to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I wish it was one of the moments where I could say, oh yeah, I did this to that person, or it was this way that but no, I literally didn't even do nothing to nobody. Like I did nothing to get left out except exist and got left out. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Am I triggered? No, I'm not triggered. I really don't care like that. I ain't mad about not being invited, but I just find it very weird. Well, I just find it a common theme throughout my life that I've always been a pinprick. Like, I've always been somebody to just stand by myself, and that's crazy. And I'm not gonna hold you. I've been a little weird my whole life. You know, I've been like a nerd my whole life. I hate small talk. I don't like, oh, how you doing, the weather, this, no, let's talk about some real nitty gritty stuff. Pull the conspiracy theories out. But either way it go, like, I used to be weird, and people, I'm still weird. I ain't gonna even hold you. And people still used to treat me like I was weird. And it's not until people spend a moment with me by themselves that they go, oh, you really ain't that bad. And it's kind of like, well, why you gotta be with a group of people to exclude me, but you want to include me when you by yourself? You know what I mean? Why did you have to figure out when you by yourself that I'm cool? Like, you could have been figured out that I'm cool. I've been cool the whole time. I don't phony kick it. Who I am is who I am.
The older I grow, the more I realize that I would just never fit in with nobody. Like, I'm just not meant to fit in. I'm not into what everybody else is into. I'm not into the trends. I'm not into going out every weekend getting drunk. I'm not into smoking weed. I'm not into having sneaky links, sleeping around. I'm not into following a trend just because everybody else is doing so. Like, that's just not my thing. Now, if I like something, that's different. But just doing stuff just because everybody else is doing it and what makes you seem cool, that's just not me. Like, I would rather be considered lame than be considered cool and be doing stuff that don't even align to my core values. But I learned that it's okay to not fit in. It's okay to be looked at as different, and it's okay because people still love me for who I am, but they know I'm just not going for that. And that's okay.
Trying not to cry, but I'm just now realizing at the age of 28 why I've never fit in. Why growing up and even through the last 10 years living in Los Angeles, I feel like I've never fit in. I've never had really good close friends. I just felt like any situation for the most part that I was in, I never felt like I belonged. Like I was too outgoing, I had too much energy, I was a try-hard, I worked too hard, I did this, and this, I was silly, I was goofy, it didn't matter what it was, I felt like I didn't fit in multiple places. And now I'm realizing it's because I was never meant to fit into those places. A lot of the places that I tried to squeeze myself into were places that God was like, girl, you don't want to be in that. You don't want to be there. Those are not the people that I want you surrounded by. Because this world has become so big on being cool and the popular kid and the aesthetic kid that you feel like you have to blend to be accepted. And I've never been somebody to blend, which I think is why so many people have pushed me out. Like, I love Jesus and I have my entire life, and I always felt like the situations and the people that I was around, I could never express that fully, like full force, like with my whole chest.
I don't know who need to hear this, but stop letting people make you feel bad because you don't fit in. You were not born to fit in. You are a chosen one, okay? I don't care if you listen to the most weird music. I don't care if the kind of clothes that you wear don't fit the aesthetic of the people around you in your town. Whatever, however you wear your hair, blah, blah, blah. Stop letting them make you feel bad. They are projecting their own insecurities onto you. Also, stop letting people make you feel shame. Stop. You ever had one of those people make a comment like, ooh, you listen to weird music, or ooh, you dress weird. Okay, just because you went weird is weird. Because a lot of times it start off as weird, and then until they like it, and now it's not weird no more.
I don't feel like I've ever fit in any space in my whole life. So I was born in Nigeria and I moved to the United States when I was 8 years old. And any immigrant will tell you it is so difficult to try to fit in when you're coming from a completely different culture, country, wherever, especially in the United States, when being like others is what makes you accepted. It probably wasn't until high school that I finally felt like, okay, I'm somewhat American now and things are chill. So I thought. I went to a private Christian school that was predominantly white. So naturally, I became friends with a lot of the Black girls that were also in my grade. The thing is, there's not just American culture, there's Black culture that also exists. So now it was me trying to learn and assimilate to Black culture so I can now fit in with my new friends. So even in a space with other Black people, I still felt like an outsider. A lot of the common ground that I had with the Black girls is that we were all suburban Black girls. So we got along in that regard. Up until I got to college. Thankfully, my college was very diverse, but at the beginning, I thought, again, it would make the most sense to gravitate towards people who looked like me, but this time it was a different terrain. A lot of the Black people that went to my school grew up in LA, or they grew up in a different part. And so again, now there was a third layer of culture that I had to relearn, understand, navigate, just to get by. Actually in college, where I finally started to get more in touch with my Nigerian roots and more Nigerian friends and connections there. But here's another trickery. While yes, we're all Nigerians, there's a difference between a Nigerian who was born in the United States, a Nigerian who moved to the United States in the past 15 years, and a Nigerian who recently moved to the United States. And so now I found myself amongst a group of people that were already diverse in their own sense that didn't really see me as a Nigerian person because it's been so long since I had moved. Now I'm post-college and the feeling still remains. I do not fit in anywhere I go. I'm always the outsider. People think I talk weird. People think I act weird. People think I think weird. I will say the biggest demographic and group that I've always got along with are other weird kids or other people who are immigrants and have moved from a different country. That is where I find my home. That is where I find my comfort. Those are my people. Generally, I get along with everyone, but that connection, that understanding, it's rare.
So here's the thing. I want you to be okay with not getting invited. I want you to be okay with not fitting in. And I definitely want you to be okay with not conforming to the patterns of this world. Because here's the truth. You were never meant to. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You weren't called to blend in. You weren't called to please the crowd. You were called to be different, set apart, holy. And sometimes that means that you're not going to get the invitation, the platform, or the approval of people, but that's okay because you have God's approval, and that's more important. So if this spoke to you today, go ahead and comment, I'm set apart. And don't forget that fitting in is never the goal. Faithfulness to God.
Okay, Rych Babes, so here are the 5 reasons why you have been feeling like you just don't fit in, right? Number 1 is you learn to read energy early. Like, you were probably just an observer as a child, watching everything, saying little. That made you emotionally intelligent, but it also made shallow rooms feel very loud, right? The second reason is you outgrew environments too fast. Your growth pace isn't average. The people you start with often can't follow where you're heading, so you end up alone in new spaces, right? The third is that you trigger people's insecurities. Like when you carry quiet confidence and remind others of what they're avoiding in themselves, they might pull away not because of you, but because of their own reflection. The fourth reason is that you've always been too authentic, right? Ain't that a slap in the face, being just yourself? Like, surface level talk drains you. You crave realness, right? That energy doesn't always mix with performative friendships or fake loyalty. And the fifth reason is that you're in your isolation era for a reason. This chapter isn't punishment, it's training. The universe, right, isolates you before it elevates you. It's where you learn your strength, okay?
Start treating you weird and making fun of you and trying to make you feel small or like you stupid or like, you know, like something's wrong with you or you're too weird, you're too this, you're too that. 9 times out of 10, they're probably jealous of you or intimidated by you. And I know people gonna be like, oh, you I don't want to hear it. This is coming from a person that's been bullied most of their life. This is coming from a person that people have always, my whole life, tried to make me feel like I was slow or stupid or something was wrong with me or I'm too weird, or I'm too this, I'm too that. And I've literally never tried to do anything but just be myself. And now that I've become older, I've really become comfortable with being a loner and being in my own space because I don't want to be around people that make me feel like that. And I realized, like, I don't even know what it is about me because I don't even feel like my confidence is at the level that it shouldn't even been at. So it's crazy because it's like I feel like people are treating you this way because they're intimidated by you, but the whole time you don't even think that you're up there on the pedestal that they have you up on. The pedestal that they have you up on in their mind is why they're trying to bring you down, trying to make you feel low about yourself so you could come down to the level that they feel like they're at. Whole time you just chilling, you're not even really feeling like you up on a pedestal or nothing. You just live a life doing you. And like honestly, that just changed the game for me. And like now when people start like treating me weird or start like, you know, just coming with that like energy where they try to like kind of make you feel some type of way about yourself or like try to like make little jokes and jabs and I'm just kidding, like, you know, like little shady shit, I just know like I'm doing something right. You know, somebody watching something right now and they don't like what they see, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go harder. I'm gonna be unbothered as fuck and I'm gonna go harder because honestly it's lonely at the top and that's how it needs to be. I don't want no fake energy, no fake friends. Shit, if it ain't even meant for me to have friends in my life to get where I want to be and to elevate to the level I am, I'm fine with that, babes. I'm so good on it because people energy is weird to tell anyway nowadays. Like, it's literally easier to kind of keep a small circle and keep to yourself for the most part. So, but yeah, if you got people talking shit behind you, kind of hating on you with the weird ass energy, you're probably doing something right. So keep on doing that and keep on elevating because it's like, it's only up. Like, it's only up.
Ever since I was little, I've never felt like I fit anywhere, okay? I've gotten really good at like kikiing and like ha 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 and like laughing with people. But dude, I don't fit anywhere. I've always felt like the oddball out, the loner. And I always used to be mean to myself because of that. Like, why can't you fit in? Why can't you be this? Why can't you be that? And now I realized on my awakening journey, it's because I am different. I am not like others.
The thing about growing up undiagnosed autistic and ADHD, along with CPTSD from the amount of trauma I done went through, is like you always know that there's something different about you, but you just can't put your finger on it. Like, you just always know, like when you're in a room with your family, with your friends or whatever, you just always feel like slightly different. And you can never know like what it is about you that makes you different and what isolates you from your peers, but you just know it's always been there for as long as you can remember.
bitch, I think I cracked another code. I think I did it. So my whole life, right, I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. Like my whole life, bro, it was always this weird feeling of like, okay, I fit in, but like I don't. And when I say this, I'm not talking about the not fitting in of like, oh my God, I'm so different. No, I'm talking about the like, you try to fit in your whole life and it just don't work. But people that don't fit into one place because they fit into so many different places. People are multifaceted. There's duality. There is dichotomy. There are so many different layers of us. For instance, me, I'm a woo-woo bitch, okay? I love the crystals. I love the Bible. I love the astrology. I love the ancestors. I love the God. I love the Jesus. I love the Buddha. I love the INTJs, the INFPs, the ENTJ, numerology, all of it. I feel at home in that world. But then there's also me that loves to shake my ass, act a fool, and have a blast. But for so long, I tried to be like, okay, this is my space. And then later, I'd be like, don't totally fit here, so this is my space, okay? I'm at the club 24/7 shaking ass. When the key is putting yourself in all these different spaces, and then figuring out how much time you can spend in each of them. Like, I cannot be a crystal charging woo-woo woman 24/7. I'm sorry, I can't. And I cannot be an ass shaking, having a blast, city girl 24/7. I get tired. If you are looking to find your tribe is in many different places. Find your space at your pace and have a good time.
Sometimes I feel like I don't fit in because I'm not easily impressed. Anybody else ever feel like that? Like, I'm not one of those people that cares about like material things and what money can buy. Don't get me wrong, money does make a lot of things better, we know that. But I've never really been able to operate in certain friendships where, you know, my friends only care about shopping or, you know, buying expensive things. Like, that ain't never been my thing. Like, I love to thrift. I love a good Goodwill. I love a good yard sale. Like, I'm impressed by people that I know can reciprocate my same energy, or that's very genuine, that got good spirits and good souls. Like, I feel like we need to get back to that in 2025 because we have so many lost souls, which is why a lot of friendships and relationships cannot be maintained. And it's really because everybody trying to figure out who they are, trying to be in the in crowd. But if we just stop trying to impress people or be impressed and be in the in crowd, maybe we can build genuine, you know what I'm saying, sincere bonds with people. I just miss that. And I think about when my mama used to talk about, like, back in the day, you never really hear our parents saying how they used to fall out with friends, how they couldn't get along. Like, they used to just kick it and have a good time. And that's what I need to get back to. But I feel like sometimes because I'm not easily impressed, it's just hard to fit in. Cause like, I don't get excited about the things that my generation gets excited about. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it could be because I know what it's like to not have money in the bank, not know where your next meal coming from, but I also know what it's like to have money, not have to check your bank account, have your bills on auto pay. And I've lived on both ends of the economic spectrum. So money don't really faze me. Like, I'm looking for genuine relationships, genuine friendships. And that's just...
You ever look around and realize that the people, places, or patterns in your life just don't feel like home anymore? That's not being ungrateful. That's your energy outgrowing what it used to settle for. Here are 3 signs that your environment is no longer aligned. You feel drained after being around certain people. Not tired, but drained. That's your energy protecting you. You're bored by what used to excite you. When your soul expands, old things stop fitting. You're constantly explaining your healing to people who don't want to understand it. Are you outgrowing your environment right now? Drop a flower if you've been feeling this shift, but haven't said it out loud yet. You're not meant to shrink to stay in familiar spaces. You're meant to expand into new ones. Comment, "I'm growing out loud" if you're no longer shrinking to stay relatable.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I think it's okay to outgrow your environment. Sometimes we like to stay stagnant and stuck in things that we feel like we're used to and that we feel like we're comfortable in, but are you really comfortable? If you had to ask yourself if you're comfortable or not, you're probably not. So it's okay. It doesn't make you better than. It's just that you learned your worth, and your worth no longer aligns with where you are currently. And that's called growth. That's not called being better. That's called growth.
When you stop giving a fuck about how you are perceived, you will skyrocket. You will skyrocket with your goals. I did not fit in high school. Ask any one of my friends right now, people did not really like me. This developed something in me that really does not give a single flying fuck what a lot of people think about me. That is the reason I was able to get on TikTok and start saying whatever the hell I want to say with my face on this camera in front of hundreds of thousands of people. That is the reason I've been so bold with my career moves at such a young age. That is the reason that I've dated high value men at such a young age and don't care if people are judging it, whatever. That is the reason I dress how I want to dress with my own identity and my own style. I don't adhere to peer pressure. Not fitting in really put that dog in me. And I know this is not the reality for all of us. Putting ourselves out there to be perceived is not easy. To be judged, looked at, commented on, critiqued. There's a lot of risk involved. But no risk, no reward. When you get over this hump of caring what people think about you, you will shoot up. You will be able to genuinely listen to what you want to do in life without outside noises and execute it without caring who's watching while you execute.
I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, I did not fit in. Even in my adulthood, like, I don't be fitting in like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a loner. Like, I have friends, but I definitely do better when it comes to, like, one-on-one situations. And I've never had, like, a group of friends, like, at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, and I used to think, oh my God, there is something wrong with me. Until I kept hearing this over and over again, that, like, when you don't fit in, you're usually destined for, like, greater things. Like, you're just on a different path and a greater path. And honestly, when I started internalizing that more, I'm just like, yo, that actually makes a lot of sense. Because not to be all braggy or, like, cocky, I've, like, in this short 23 years that I've been alive, I've accomplished a lot. Like, for instance, I'm probably one of the first Nigerian Americans to appear on the Jennifer Hudson show back in, like, 2023. I think that was one of my biggest life accomplishments. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that was a big deal. Before I quit track to pursue music, bro, I was a good track athlete. I was a don't get me started. Like, even up until this day, I still have a school record that I set when I was like 16 or 17. Like, it's still there. No one's broke it yet. While I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with having a large group of friends, I'm not dumb enough to fall for groupthink, because I know that's a real thing, and that is just scary. I'm like, oh my God. So some people can't actually think for themselves. Like, they have to assimilate and they have to, like, conform. I don't know. Like, I just can't do it. But yeah, sometimes when you're not fitting in, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Sometimes it just means that your calling is higher. And I'm going to take that and run with it. Like, I believe it, for real.
Maybe the reason why you've always felt different is because you're not supposed to fit in with everyone else. When I was younger, I never used to, like, fit in. I used to make those tech deck skateboards, sell them in middle school. I went to a different school because I learned differently. But maybe we were never meant to blend in. Fitting in means shrinking yourself to make other people feel comfortable. Most people do that their entire lives. They hide parts that make them different just to be accepted by people who don't accept themselves. But we're different. We care too much. We overthink. We want more out of life. So let's stop trying to be understood by people who were never meant to get us. We're not here to fit in. We're here to stand out. So let's stand out.
Girl, listen, I know that feeling, okay? You are sitting there wondering, what's wrong with me? But the truth is, nothing is wrong with you. You were never meant to blend in because you were designed to actually stand out. Maybe you were the quiet one in school, or the loyal friend who turned invisible once you stopped overgiving. Like, you've probably had circles that celebrated you in private, but dimmed you in public. And now you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, okay? And you catch yourself saying, why do I still feel like I don't belong anywhere, right? Listen, belonging isn't about being accepted everywhere. It's about being aligned somewhere. Okay? Like, most people are so addicted to fitting in that they never figure out who they actually are. But you, my love, Rych Babe, like, you've been forced to sit with yourself long enough to know your own energy, and that's so powerful. Like, you learn to enjoy your own company. You learn that peace is worth more than popularity, and maybe that isolation season hurt, but it also taught you discernment, how to sense who's genuine before they even open their mouth, girl. You can feel it. Like, that's not loneliness. That's emotional intelligence on God mode, okay? So no, don't curse your difference, okay? Use it, because while everyone else is fighting for visibility, you're building vision. The quiet ones, the misfits, right? The ones who never fit in, the ones that don't get invited, the ones like, oh, why you didn't come? Oh, I wasn't invited. Like, wait a minute. Why I couldn't get invited, right? Or when you walk in a room and everybody stops talking and they looking at you. Yeah, listen, these are the ones that become the innovators, the creators, the leaders of our own lanes. Like, and let's be real, most people don't actually fit in. They just fake it better. But you don't fake it. Okay, you're done faking it. All right, you're done trying to earn seats at tables that you were never meant to sit in anyway. The food is nasty. Okay, just get up from the table at this point, right? So this week, take your power back, move with intention, build your digital asset, digital skills, your income streams, your freedom. All right, move in silence, girl. Build quietly and boss the fuck up at this point, you know? And I like when one of the girls said, she said, do you really want to fit in with them? Like, do you really, like, if you look at their lives, like, do you really want to fit in with these type of people? And if the answer is no, it's like, so what you mad for? Like, when you look at a certain type of group of people and you're like, I'm already shitting on y'all anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do I even need to fit in? Like, I'm not even like y'all. Like, I heard the conversations and I don't even relate to certain things like that. I have a certain code. I have a certain moral and values and, principles and boundaries, and the way that you guys move, I don't move like that. So why do you even try to force yourself in? And I get it. Like, you ain't got nothing but 2 friends, but guess what? Those 2 friends are the best thing than having 5, 10, 20 friends. And, you don't have to have so many. As long as they're loyal to you, as long as they treat you well, it's all good. So like I said, move with intention, girl, because the more you stand in who you are, the more life bends to meet you there. You're special. You are. And if you've been feeling lost lately, babe, you're not behind. You're just in the middle of a glow up that requires privacy, okay? And I want every rich babe listening to remember this. You weren't rejected. You were just redirected. You weren't excluded. You were elevated. The rooms that couldn't handle your energy had to close so the right ones could open. So go be that woman, the one who walks alone, but walks in peace, the one who doesn't chase, who doesn't explain, who doesn't shrink, okay? And my love, if you are ready to turn that isolation into income, confidence, and a community, listen, make sure that you check your email. I have sent the dates that you need to save. I will be sending out another email, all right, talking about November the 1st. All right, make sure that you're on your email list. Ladies, get on your email list because I have a private community coming up real soon. I'm so excited, and you're about to start hearing me talking more about it soon. So make sure you get on the email list so that way you can have exclusive access at richmilanco.com. The link is down in the description box below. All right, my loves, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Until next time, rich babes, stay rich. Love.